Hey, I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation. Welcome back to another episode of Aviation News. There's a lot to cover today, so let's get right to it. First thing up today, Australia's flag carrier Qantas have announced it will take on more A321XLR aircraft, bringing their total to 48. For those who didn't know, they took on their first XLR about 2.5 months ago to replace their 737s. However, these new XLR aircraft coming in the next couple years will have not only the improved range of the XLR, seen here versus the 737s, but also a much nicer business class cabin. Here is the current cabin on the XLR, on the domestic routes and short international routes, and here is the economy class cabin. These are definitely an improvement over the 737 fleet. However, the new XLRs coming online in the next couple of months will make this even better. This new batch of XLRs will include an all-new lie-flat business class cabin, seen right here, which looks amazing. These promotional images are from Qantas's website, by the way, and this definitely looks like an improvement in keeping with the theme on their wide bodies with lie-flat seats. It almost reminds me of JetBlue's Mint Studio Suite, and I don't think you could tell the two apart very easily. And overall, this is great news for Qantas and the XLR. Moving right along, there has been a tragic crash involving an F-16 in Poland while it was preparing for an airshow last week. Here's the footage for those of you who haven't seen it. The F-16 aircraft is performing a number of demonstrations before an airshow coming up later in the week, and some people are even there early filming it, as seen here. However, the aircraft goes down and is unable to pull out of the loop in time, and appears to crash into the ground in front of hundreds of spectators. This tragic accident also killed the pilot on board the aircraft, which makes it even more sad and disheartening. The airshow was also cancelled later that week, and the cause of this accident is still under investigation by relevant authorities. Moving along, airline Côte have received their first A330neo aircraft. Leaving the Airbus factory earlier last week, this aircraft, the first of two A330-900s on order by the airline, took its delivery flight last week, as I mentioned, and headed to the capital of the country, its new home base. This would be a cool airline to try someday. Next up, WestJet have placed a massive order with Boeing for more 737 MAX and 787 Dreamliner aircraft in the next coming years. Despite already flying the 737 MAX 8, WestJet have ordered 60 737 MAX 9 aircraft, the middle, longer variant of the MAX. They have also added 7 more 787 Dreamliners, which they first took delivery of back in 2019. Overall, this means they'll have a fleet still consisting of all Boeing aircraft between 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9s later this year, as well as 787-9s, and this is exciting news for the carrier. China Southern have also tried to sell off 10 Boeing 787-8 Dreamliners earlier this week. However, this was blocked by regulators. Additionally, a World War II bomb was discovered at Frankfurt airport and huge delays ensued. However, experts took care of this massive bomb and detonated it safely. No one was hurt, and luckily the airport wasn't damaged, which is great because I love Frankfurt airport. Also check out my videos on the 747s to and from Frankfurt. Also in the headlines, JetBlue have retired their final Embraer aircraft from the fleet. The Embraers have flown for JetBlue since 2000 and will be replaced with Airbus A320 aircraft. However, keeping with Embraer, Avelo have ordered 100 aircraft with the carrier, consisting of Embraer E190 E2 aircraft with 50 firm orders with options for 50 more aircraft. Their current order is already worth more than $4.4 billion, so this is amazing. Avelo currently only flies 737s, and this will also make them the launch customer for the E2 in the United States, with the only other operator being Porter in Canada. Well, that's all I have for you in this episode of Aviation News. I hope you've enjoyed. If so, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be wishing you blue skies and tailwinds. Farewell to the JetBlue Embraer fleet. Also make sure to check out my video at the Embraer Aviation Museum, linked below.